What's up, guys? So it's been a good month, or yeah, I'd say about a month since I put anything up. Part of that's just because I've been pretty busy with a few different things, and part of that is this lovely thing over here where Riot accidentally changed the way that range indicators. Well, accidentally, they didn't. It's not really accidentally. They did it on purpose without documenting it. I don't know if they accidentally pushed it through without documenting it, or didn't mean to push it through to live servers or something, but it kind of, it wasn't like the biggest reason I like not playing that much recently, but it's a factor. And like they're fixing it, and they're fixing it 5.8, which fortunately, fingers crossed, is coming in like a couple of days or so. So that'll be fixed up, and I can have one less thing to blame about not playing much League. The other reason is because of the OCC, and that's something that I've been spending quite a bit of time with. Just working on that, working on a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So, as the name would imply, it's only for the OS region, so that immediately cuts interest for most of you. But pretty much unis, TAFEs, whatever the New Zealand equivalent of a TAFE is, I'm sorry, I forget. All of that, the equivalent of colleges for those in the US. Pretty much one big tourney for everyone in like uni or anything like that. And it's 3 stages. We're in the middle of the second stage at the moment, and we're fast approaching the third stage. So first stage uni qualifiers, where the unis basically they decide how, but they present their best team to stage 2. So some of the unis are having internal tournaments. Western Australia's like pulled out. Some of them already knew which team they wanted to send in, but they get to decide that. And then they go into state qualifiers against all the other best uni teams in their region, and the unis in the state kind of decide what they want to do for the state. And then New Zealand awkwardly tacked onto the end there, because it's hard to decide on a word that includes both the states and then New Zealand. So we just called it state qualifiers, and I hope you guys aren't going to be too annoyed about that, but no one's complained so far as I know. So all the different unis sort out what they want to do for their state, or in, again, New Zealand's case, New Zealand. Some of them have given more seats to the bigger unis. Some of them have even seating, I think. Yeah, even seating. Well, that's not really even seating. It's kind of even seating, but the regions figured out. And then at the very end, OS-wide finals, online stage, and then for the top 2 teams, fly out to Sydney. Riot's paying for that for the 2 teams, and they compete for basically the title of best uni team in the OS region. So that's pretty freaking cool. And there's a lot of work to make sure it goes smoothly, and there's been a few hiccups along the way, but it's been a good experience, and I've had to do more things than I expected to have to do when I first started getting into it, but it's going pretty well. And one other thing I've been doing is actually LTU COGS T1, which is the well, not the uni team, the best team, like the premier team from the Trib Uni. And I'm friends with the president, so sort of through that connection, I ended up doing some analysis for them. The Vic qualifier was pretty recent. I went down to Renegade Gaming, which is a LAN cafe in the city. It's pretty new. um, and they got O2'd in a double elim. So they weren't there for very long. Um, they played okay. They were a little bit outmatched, only a little bit. Not, it wasn't like silvers versus challengers or anything. It was like it's just I think the other team was like diamonds and challengers, and they were like plats and diamonds. I don't know for sure, but went down there, gave them some quick feedback on what I thought the biggest points were, and obviously leading up to that, I'd been analyzing some of the games, giving them feedback on things I think they can improve on as a team individually. Um, but yeah, that's something else I've been spending some of my time on. So like I've been doing league related stuff, just less like actual league recently, and hopefully maybe after the OCC's done and 5.8's out, so OCC's gonna be done in a bit over 2 weeks, since the final stage with the two teams in Sydney is May 16th, so that's not too far away. Um, and and then we're gonna have to like wrap it up and do all the um post-tournament work, because apparently there's some to do after tournaments. You don't really think of that as a player too much, but it's there. But yeah, after that winds down, and again, this whole thing's fixed, then it would be cool to get back into playing League a little bit more. Olaf, right now, I don't really know. Um, Obviously, for anyone who really keeps up with competitive right now, Smite, or even in solo queue, Smite+TP top lane has become pretty popular among champions that can kind of get away without flash. So Hecarim, Shyvana, a little bit of Sion. I think I haven't seen it in the games I've watched, but I think theoretically it makes sense. So I'm sure somebody's played it somewhere. Trundle, even Olaf can kind of do it. I'm sure there's a few more champions, but it, and then you like go challenging Smite Cinderhulk. And the issue for Olaf is that even though it kind of, if you're already going exhaust TP, then it kind of suits him, but at the same time, it doesn't suit him as much as the Shyvana. So I am not sure where he stands right now, because even though if you're taking exhaust before and you want to switch over to Smite, it's in some ways an improvement. In other ways, it's not an improvement. It's slipping back, but in some ways it is an improvement. So it's just I don't know. I don't know if it makes him better or not. I'm thinking like it doesn't overall, because even if he becomes slightly stronger, the people around him that he's competing against all becoming even stronger than he becomes. So it's kind of iffy. I'm not too sure. I haven't really played it that much because I haven't been playing that much League. But uh, I don't think he can really compete too easily with stuff like Hecarim or Shyvana if they also take Smite. I think they do that job better. And if you just go exhaust, then previously you'd be facing Flash and you could win the fight. But now, if you take exhaust into challenging Smite Cinderhulk, I don't think you can win that fight most of the time. Like, Olaf's a good duelist, but Cinderhulk is a good fighter dueling item, and challenging Smite is an exceptionally good dueling item. So I'm not really sure if it's worth playing him top lane, to be honest. He's still in jungle. Oh, like that's a really good place from right now, in my opinion, relative to top lane at least. Cinderhulk works better for Olaf in the jungle than the top lane, in my opinion. Um, in lane, you don't want to be constantly fighting the other guy. and that's kind of what you have to do to get the most out of Cinderhawk, because it's damage over time and it ramps up. But Olaf in lane, mostly about short trades. If you're against a range champion, then sure, you want to all in them, you want to murder them. But if you're against a melee guy, you want to max E, you want to short trade, and then you sort of back out a little bit, and then you short trade again. You just like constantly harass them with the true damage from E. But Cinderhawk is all about starting a fight and then sticking to them in the fight, so that you get the ramped up damage and you just tick them down with a beefed up Sunfire. And Olaf is okay at that, but he's not like amazeballs at that. And one other thing I might quickly bring up, if I can find it. Black Cleaver icon. Maybe it's here. Okay, so Black Cleaver's getting changed, and this might actually be pretty good on Olaf. I'm just gonna check that that's all picking up on the screen. Not quite, so I'll take myself off. There you go. So 20% CDR. They've taken off the armor pen, but the armor shred passive has been beefed up, and it has a modified rage passive, so it's not just on an auto attack anymore on this particular item. Like, it's still just if you buy Fade, it's still an auto attack, but for Black Cleaver, it's the same named passive that just changed how it works. So it works on dealing physical damage, which could potentially be really good on Q spam Olaf to help chase stuff, especially if you can system clears enemy units or kills on any unit. So 60 movement speed, same as Trinity Force. If you can Q like through a minion to kill the minion and then hit the champion, then you get 60 movement speed, and then you keep hitting the champion and you get 20 movement speed repeated, and all that time you're debuffing their armor. So that could be really helpful for Olaf if you're fighting a tank or a tanky fighter. But I guess we'll have to see. It does kind of mess up his quote optimal CDR, since you kind of really want Frozen Heart if you're going for a CDR heavy build. But you kind of like Spirit Visage too, because it helps you like heal heaps at low health. I guess you could just swap out to a Banshees or something, but it's interesting. I'm keen to try it out once it hits live. And that's pretty much it. So I've been doing a lot of League related stuff more than like actual League. And that means I don't really have much in the way of video content to put up, and it also means that the Cinderhawk Smite stuff, like, I don't really have much of an opinion on, just because I haven't played it that much. I played it a little bit, but not enough to like update the guide with that info or anything like that. So maybe in like a month or so, and like it's just a maybe. I don't know when the timing on it's gonna be. Like, I'm gonna start playing a bit more than 5.8's out, but just with the finals coming up, there's probably gonna be more work. So it's gonna be iffy how much I'm gonna be able to like play of like serious games of ranked and tryharding in it, and then taking that experience and like writing into the guide and all of that. But fingers crossed we'll get some stuff done quickly with the OCC, and then I'll have a bit more time to hop onto League, play some games, jot down some notes, put the notes into the guide, and off we fly. But yeah, that's it for now, guys. Sorry I don't really have much more for you, and there's not going to be like that much content coming up for a little bit. But yeah, I've been working on some stuff, and soon to I guess I don't really have much more for you. So thanks for watching. Peace out, guys.